You've probably heard of the Alps, which are the largest mountain range in Europe. But have you ever heard of the Southern Alps? The Southern Alps are a major mountain range that run about 300 miles or 500 kilometers from the northeast to the southwest along New Zealand's South Island. And despite the similarities in their names, there's actually no relationship between the Southern Alps and the European Alps, at least from a geological standpoint. In fact, the Southern Alps are basically as far away from the European Alps as is physically possible on Earth. Specifically, the two ranges are about 11,500 miles or 18,500 kilometers apart. For reference, this is only slightly less than the maximum distance between 2 points on Earth, which is roughly 12,500 miles or 20,000 kilometers. So how did two mountain ranges that are located literally on opposite ends of the Earth end up with such similar names? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward, as on March 20th, 1770, famous English explorer James Cook named the mountains the Southern Alps because he thought they looked a lot like the European Alps. Now, to Cook's credit, the two mountain ranges do look pretty similar, as both have high levels of topographic relief and are heavily glaciated. But let's focus on the Southern Alps now, as they're actually a pretty cool mountain range in their own right. At the moment, the Southern Alps are relatively modest in terms of absolute height, as there are only 14 mountains within the range that exceed an elevation of 9,800 feet or 3,000 meters, but they do have a high level of topographic relief that allows the mountains to look a lot larger than their height would suggest. Additionally, the Southern Alps are actually still pretty young, as they first started forming only 45 million years ago, and most of their uplift has occurred in only the last 5 million years. And the range isn't done growing, far from it in fact, as at least one study suggests that they are the fastest growing mountain range in the entire world. Now, because the Southern Alps are still young and growing, they're an incredibly rugged mountain range, characterized by steep slopes and jagged peaks, which again makes them look more impressive than their height would suggest. One of the most rugged mountains in the Southern Alps, as well as the highest, is Mount Cook, or Aoraki, which currently stands at 12,218 feet, or 3,724 meters. But again, while this elevation in a vacuum isn't overly impressive when compared to other major mountains in the world, Aoraki definitely punches well above its weight class. It is a steep, heavily glaciated, and highly technical mountain peak, which means that climbing it is a lot harder than you'd expect, and it actually attracts experienced mountain climbers from all over the world. But even if you aren't up for climbing Aoraki, there are countless other opportunities for outdoor recreation in the Southern Alps, as the range is protected by 8 national parks